So good evening, thanks for joining me on this video. Again, a bit like last month, a bit overdue, but I'm going to talk to you about my solar performance for the month of May 2021 for my 9 kilowatt solar array here in the West Midlands in the UK. So if you're new, I'll just give you a quick overview of the system that I have here. So I have 30 panels on my roof, totaling 9 kilowatts of a solar array. They're all using Powerwall panels. Connected to that, I have a 6 kilowatt solar edge inverter, and there's optimizers on all the backs of those panels. Connected to that, I have a Tesla Powerwall 2, not with a backup gateway, so I can't go and run if there is a power cut. And then connected to that, I also have a My Energy Eddi, which allows me to heat the hot water from surplus solar. And I also have a My Energy Zappi Gen 1. And that obviously allows me to charge the electric cars that we have here, again, from surplus solar or off peak. So we have a 40 kilowatt Nissan Leaf and a Polestar 2 long range. And then in terms of our energy partner or provider, we use Octopus Energy, specifically the Go tariff, and what that means is during off-peak hours, which is 4:30 midnight to 4:30 in the morning, you only pay 5 pence per kilowatt, and that significantly reduces our bills. So you'll see a little bit about that as we go through the video. If you're looking to change energy provider and hopefully Octopus Energy can save you some money, please consider using the link in the description and displayed on screen. You and I will both get £50 credit to your bill. So that's the overview of the system. So let's kind of get into the nitty gritty of a few things. So we'll start off with my actual energy consumption. So again, just to give you some perspective on kind of how much it costs me to run my house with my solar setup. Myself and my wife work from home. We have many servers and everything running 24/7, so we are generally a high energy household. In the month of May, my electricity costs were £24.19 and my gas costs were £10.56. Now, the electricity, the average price per kilowatt hour worked out to be 5.95 pence per kilowatt hour. So most of the energy we're using, again, is off-peak, and we use 225.8 kilowatt hours of off-peak energy and then 37.5 kilowatt hours of peak energy. So again, we're making the most we can with the off-peak stuff. We've got electric cars, we need to charge them sometimes, and sometimes we also heat hot water with that as well. If we look at the solar stats themselves, so for the month of May, the system generated 979.47 kilowatt hours of electricity from the solar panels. We were able to utilize 94% of that and then exported 6%, so 62.27 kilowatt hours of electricity was exported, and then we had a requirement to import 270 kilowatt hours. So not an amazing month, but still not too bad. Again, I'm happy that, you know, we're able to do all the things that we're doing and run electric cars and everything. It costs us £24.19 again from the grid. If we compare May 2021 with the previous years of May, when I've had my solar, you can see that May again was the worst. It was kind of a variable month here. I'm not sure what it was like where you were. Again, as always, please feel free to leave comments of kind of where you are and what your solar performance was like. It's always interesting to see that. So yeah, hoping that June is going to be better. June is already looking better at the time of doing this video, so I'm confident that we may be on the upward curve. So just look at a couple of kind of standout days from May. So the first, or the worst day of May in terms of generation was the 3rd of May, we only generated 9.73 kilowatt hours of electricity and had to import 10.88. So again, not massive imports, but again, just not great solar performance. The best day we had in May was the 27th of May, where we generated 53.32 kilowatt hours and only imported 0.66 kilowatt hours. So I think that's getting close to my best ever day, which I think was something like 56 kilowatts. 56 kilowatt hours is the best I've ever generated. So I'm not sure if we'll ever get to 60, but we can hope. Not sure if I can work out if it's theoretically possible with my system or not. In terms of a couple of other call out days, so 4th of May was quite a high consumption day. We had to import 30.46 kilowatt hours of electricity from the grid, and that was just a requirement to having to charge up one of the cars that we didn't have enough surplus solar and stuff. We had some trips coming up, so we had to charge from the grid. And then I guess quite a low consumption day for us was the 20th of May, so we only consumed 17.09 kilowatt hours of electricity, which is pretty low for us. So I'll just give you a general overview of how the system's performed. Now I'll call out a couple of things in terms of how some of that surplus energy is used, or how that solar energy is used more specifically. So let me just get my information so I can share it with you on the screen. So if we look at, first of all, the Zappi, so you can see during May 60% of the energy that we used to charge our cars came from the grid, so 203.18 kilowatt hours of electricity from the grid for car charging, but 139.25 kilowatt hours came from solar surplus that we're able to use to charge our cars up and drive around everything, which is fantastic. If we look at the My Energy Eddi, so how we heat our hot water from surplus solar, you can see we had 85 kilowatt hours of surplus solar that we put into heating hot water. If we just get the information about the Powerwall, which is around here somewhere, we managed to get 304 kilowatt hours of energy from the Powerwall. So that'd be a combination of some of it charging up overnight during the off-peak energy, but most of the time in May would have come from solar surplus as well. So that gives you some indication about how my system is performing. And then another thing that I can touch on is, obviously I got some of the solar just as the feed-in tariff in the UK was running out. So I can give you a little bit of information about what that means for me personally. Obviously the feed-in tariff isn't available anymore. You have to only be able to export. And again, the way I have my system set up is I want to export as little as possible, but I will touch on that in a moment. So as mentioned previously, the system generated 979.47 kilowatt hours of electricity. We're able to utilize 917.2 kilowatt hours of that. And so what that equates to is we will get £40.40 as feed-in tariff for what we've generated, and £26.94 on the deemed export tariff. So even though I haven't exported hardly anything, that's what the government will pay under that scheme. And if I was to have had to pull that energy from the grid that the solar generated based on the current tariffs during peak time, for me would have cost me £125.84. So all in all, the benefit and the payback of solar in May 2021 for me personally equates to £193.18. If I wasn't on the feed-in tariff and I was trying to get paid for my export, again, my plan is to not export hardly anything if I can help it. So I'm not in the game of trying to generate money from exporting, but I obviously exported 62.27 kilowatt hours of energy and based on the current export tariff, which I think is about 0.055 pence or something right now, I would have been paid £3.42 for the energy I exported. So I hope that helps give you some insight again on my month by month update on my solar performance. In a couple of months time I'll have to do my kind of year 3 update and how things are going with payback and what have you, but again, still no regrets on having solar and how it's performing, and yeah, hope it continues to be helpful. But that's all for now. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.